I recently made a big decision to move to a different country, and now I'm living in beautiful Porto, and I almost didn't make this decision. And in this video, I'll share with you what exactly happened. And when I was reflecting back on this experience, I also noticed that this shift that I just made, moving to a different country, also consisted of the core components that you need to create a radical change in your life. So I'll also share with you those core components because when you master these and when you embody these, that's when you can make shifts and changes like this as well. That's when you can move to a different country, even though it doesn't look right on paper, because that was exactly my situation. I spent, for example, half of my 20s ill in two separate periods. And the last period of, let's say, 2.5 years ended in December 2025. And I expected to feel euphoric when I got healed, when I was able to do things again. Because metaphorically, I wasn't really in a wheelchair, but metaphorically, I felt that I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't walk, I couldn't run like I wanted to. So when I was healed from the illness, I expected myself to go completely crazy, to attack life again, and to start walking and running and do all of these crazy things. And yes, this euphoric feeling was present for a little bit, but unexpectedly, anxiety was present the most. I was so anxious after I got healed. I was more anxious after I got healed than I was when I was ill. And all the thoughts that came up, as in, what if I get ill again? Will I be okay? What if I'm not safe? Will everything work out? What if it doesn't work out? And I was wrestling with these type of questions on a daily basis. And I just didn't know how to navigate it. And because of this experience, I thought, okay, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to move to a different country or anything like that. So maybe I'll move in October to Porto when I feel better, when things on paper look better, when I'm ready. And maybe you recognize this in your life as well, when you know in your heart what you want to be doing, but you don't feel ready yet. How often do we postpone our dreams, our missions, our visions because we don't feel ready? And this was my case. I didn't feel ready. So I was just avoiding the option altogether. But the thing was, I was doing research. I was doing research on apartments to prepare myself already for October, for the big move. And I was just looking at the real estate agencies that I wanted to get in contact with the agents, to orient myself a little bit of the apartments that were present. And there was one website where I had to create an account to favorite certain apartments. And this account, I had to create it with my phone number. And I just looked at some some apartments in Porto, and the next day I got a message from the organization. And I thought, like, this must be a scam. This is so sketchy. Like, why would they send me a message on WhatsApp? And in the message they wrote like, "Oh, we saw that you were looking at these and these apartments. Are we able to help you with your search in any kind of way?" So I thought, okay, well, let's try. I'll send my informations, or let's say the conditions of the things that I was looking for, to them, and they can do their research. And within an hour, I got a list of apartments from them that I couldn't find really on the website. So when I looked through the apartments that the lady sent me, there was one apartment, this one, that popped up. And when I saw it, something just so unexpected but crazy happened in that moment, because I was constantly walking through my days with this heaviness. Like I said, with the anxiety of, what if I get ill again? All of these stories, what if it doesn't work out? And yeah, I was just stuck in this heaviness. But when I opened this apartment and when I looked at it, something just removed all of the heaviness for a moment. And I was in this warm, safe, peaceful bubble. I felt really that something was holding me in that moment. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I also believe that there are outside influences that I can't see that are influencing my existence. So this is where something or someone was holding me in that moment, and I felt in my body that I had to say yes. I had to say yes to this apartment. And logically, it didn't make any sense. On paper, it didn't make any sense to say yes to this apartment. But I felt this so strongly, and I recognized this feeling. I recognize this feeling from the past, where I know that when I feel something like this in my body, it's not just an emotion that pops up. Like, this is so much deeper. It's almost something else communicating to me that this is the path. This is the decision that you must be making. And I don't even know why yet. So I went back and forth for 3 hours with the company to make sure that this wasn't a scam, because it was a bit sketchy how they reached out to me. And eventually, after the 3 hours, I did my research as well. Everything was okay. And I just said yes to the apartment. I transferred the money, and now I'm here in my new apartment. I'm not even here for a week yet. I'm still grounding myself. I also got a new microphone, so I'm testing this thing out. And this was just a crazy experience to go from that anxiety, that heaviness to that warm bubble. And the interesting thing was when I made the decision a few days after, of course, there was excitement as in, oh shit, I'm going to move. And at the same time, the anxiety was just heightened even more in that moment. And luckily, it also faded away and I moved into this excitement, this vibrancy, this curiosity as in what is going to happen. And the thing is, now that I'm here, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing here. Of course, I'm going to run my coaching business. I feel a pull towards creating content, maybe lifestyle content, more cinematic type of content. Maybe I'm going to do some public speaking here, but I'm still exploring all the possibilities. And this is also a very uncomfortable place for me to be in, to not have all the clarity. Because now I'm here, I'm grounding myself, I got everything for the apartment. Okay, but what are my next steps? And this already, if I also share the core components with you, how long do we wait before we have all the clarity, before we have all the answers to do something, before everything looks perfect on paper, and then we take action, then we start the company, then we start creating content? How often are we waiting and postponing our dreams to be ready, to have the perfect goals, the perfect plan, the perfect clarity? And this is where, if you want to make shit happen in life, you must, you must take action before you are ready. Because the way that it works is that you become ready by making the commitment. You force yourself to become ready. That's the moment when you make that leap of faith. When you make the decision, that's the moment that you become ready. It's not that you become ready and you make the decision. So we often look at it the wrong way or the wrong way around. We think we have to become ready and then make a commitment, but you become ready by making the commitment. And this requires, of course, a lot of courage. But the thing is why people, and I notice this with probably all of my clients that I work with, we stop trusting ourselves. That's the thing. And so this is also the second component. I'll mix them up a little bit because, as you might have noticed, I didn't prepare this video at all. But that's the second component that I often see with clients. They know what they want to be doing with their life. They can feel it in their body, in their bones, like this is the direction that I want to go into. Why haven't they jumped yet? Why haven't they decided yet? In a lot of cases, when, for example, something significant happens in our life, like we fall in love with a person and we follow our heart, we follow that feeling, and then we have a terrible breakup. Let's say something like that happens, or you have a business partnership and you go bankrupt, whatever happens, a horrible breakup happens. Maybe with my situation, something happens with your health, you get ill. And because of the pain and hurt that we feel after we made a decision that was in alignment with our heart, there's a moment where that we stop trusting ourselves. Like, I can't trust anymore this feeling that is guiding me in life. Because if I trust this feeling, because your heart is not waiting to feel ready to do something, your heart is just pushing you to make the jump before you are ready. But when you trust that feeling, when you walk with faith, that's when you get hurt. This is the kind of story that we create in our mind. So that's why we can't trust ourselves. And I remember one client in specific that I had a recent session with, he started to make decisions based on other people's opinions because he didn't trust his own anymore. So he tried to create the certainty and safety by listening to others. And now he was stuck in a situation that was just horrible for him. It was so out of alignment. And he felt so unhappy, even though it was socially acceptable and socially correct and perfect, actually, the situation that he was in. But he didn't want to be in that situation at all. And he felt his body just resisting it. And that's what starts happening if you start procrastinating on this feeling. If you start to ignore it and you start to push it away, it starts to scream at you. And that's the thing. If you start to walk into the wrong direction, you will know. Like, your body starts screaming that you must go in a different direction. So that's why, of course, one of the first core components that I shared is making the decision before you are ready. Because by making the decision, you become ready. And the second thing is listen to your heart. And you can, depending on your beliefs, you can listen to your soul, you can listen to your heart, you can also listen to God, because I believe, like I said, I'm a bit more spiritual in this sense, where I believe there are outside influences communicating with me, and I don't know where it means, what it means, or where it's coming from, or what the purpose is. We often only find out what the purpose is by going through it. When we take action, when we go through it and we look back, that's when we understand. And we don't always get the results that our ego wants to get, that we expect to get. So if I follow my heart, I become a millionaire. Like, it's not always like that. Usually it's not like that, because what is meant for you is probably far greater than what your ego can comprehend. And sometimes it's also about sequencing. You need to learn and experience certain things first before you start creating certain things. And sometimes we don't know what is meant for us in a journey. Sometimes you don't know what lessons are meant for you to receive in this moment, but you can only receive all of these things, the lessons that you need, the experiences that you need, the wisdom that you need, by following your heart, by listening to that strange thing that's beating inside of your chest. And that's the thing that I believe is most important, is this alignment piece, is living in integrity with yourself. Like, I want to live as close to my heart as possible. This is one of my goals. So that's why when I felt that feeling in that warm bubble, even though anxiety was present so much, and even though it didn't look right on paper, I trust that feeling. I know that feeling, and I know that it will lead me to great things. And sometimes it will lead me to very difficult situations, very uncomfortable situations, but I know that all of this is there for a purpose. It's all created and curated for me. That's why I can't make a wrong decision, because every decision from here is the right decision, regardless of the outcomes. I will make every single decision the right decision. So that's why I can't make a wrong decision. So that's where make the decision before you are ready, follow your heart, listen to your soul, listen to God, listen to consciousness, depending on your beliefs, because there's something communicating with you that when you follow it, some great things will unfold in your life. And there was maybe a third core component that I had in mind to share with you, but now I'm thinking, I'm like, what was this third thing again? And I don't even remember it. So that's why I'm going to leave it with these two things. Yeah, I don't even remember it. Even when I pause, nothing comes up. I so I'll make a different video about the third one. And that's the thing. Right now, I don't have clarity. I don't know what my next chapter is going to look like. So right now, I'm living in surrender. And I'm allowing myself to be guided, because once I have that clarity of my direction, that's when I hold on to it and then I go crazy. But right now I'm in this empty space, in this in-between space, this gray area. And most people are afraid to be in this gray area because it's uncomfortable. I don't like being in this place. Not as in literal place in Porto. I don't like being in a place of I don't know exactly what this next chapter is going to be like. But I need to put myself in a situation like that to receive the answers that are meant for me. I need to put myself in these uncomfortable positions. So that's where I'm still on this journey of exploring, what is this next chapter going to look like? Like I shared already, it's going to be, of course, I'm going to continue with the coaching. I'm going to continue with the retreats that I'm organizing. Maybe I'm going to be public speaking. Maybe I'm going to create more lifestyle cinematic content. Maybe I'm going to be, I don't know, organizing network events here, doing something here in Porto. Maybe I'll move to a different country in a few months. I don't know what's in store for me, but this is where I trust and I follow my heart, and we'll see wherever life takes me. So thank you for watching. I'm going to be uploading more consistently because when I made this move, like, I'm very close to my family and the people around me. So it was a period of goodbyes while I still was doing the work. So it was also chaotic. I'm like, you know what? I need to step away from creating content for a moment. And now I'm going back into it to see, yeah, through motion and through movement, like I said, now I know what the third one is. Fuck. I was about to end this video and now it's like, oh, this was the third one that I wanted to talk about. It's the action breeds clarity part. So when you don't know what to do and when you don't have the answers, that's the only way to get your answers is by taking action. Action breeds clarity. It's not that you think your way to answers. It's not that you journal your way to clarity. It's by being in motion, and I wouldn't even say motion, but intentional action, intentional motion. That's where you receive the answers that are meant for you. So if I'm lacking clarity right now, I'm not going to sit still and think, okay, I'll just wait till the clarity comes. No, I start creating, I start connecting with people, I start to create content, I start to continue with the coaching and everything. And then I'll receive these little insights. I receive these little answers out of nowhere. I start walking through Porto, I connect with someone and they say something in the conversation. I'm like, oh, where? And it's revealed something about me. So I'm curious about what does this whole journey reveal for me and about me, about my direction, and about what I'm going to be creating in life, how I'm going to be serving, how I'll impact the world. And that's the thing that you must embody as well. Action breeds clarity. This is the one thing that I live by. So now we have the three. Oh my God. So I'll just end the video right here. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.